Back again with yet another cylinder. This time we have the Electrolux Z96 in beautiful yellow. This is another one that had a short production run. I think it was out at about the same time as the 303 and the 312. I've had this one since the spring this year. Again, I think it was from a house clearance, or was it somebody was renovating a house and they found it in the garage. So it went on Facebook and I was lucky enough to spot it just as it went on and picked it up. So it's in pretty good nick. I've cleaned it. It was quite dirty. It's got the vinyl and that just picks up everything. It's very difficult to get the stuff out. So toothbrush went into that to get that clean. So it's come up pretty nice. I haven't really done a lot of motor work to it other than remove the suppressor, because again, at the time, I knew how to take the suppressor off and put the motor back into the machine, but I didn't know how to unclip the motor itself and grease and oil the two bearings, etc. So this one again is going to need a bit of work. It's really powerful. It's got a 550 watt motor, I think. Yeah, again, the light's not great. If you can see anything on there. It basically says Electrolux, because it's the cheap end of the range. Product number 9003252. Serial number 946, so that's 46th week of 1979. 240 volts, 50 hertz. Yeah, 550 watt motor. Doesn't feel like it. It feels a lot more powerful than that. But I suppose the motors all look pretty much the same if you open these cleaners up. It's to say that they weren't all the same, and they just put what they had into the machine and just called it 550. There was no stickers on it or anything like that to indicate anything specific when I looked at the motor, so who knows, but we shall see. It's fairly light. It's got an unusual catch to open the bag door, because the bag goes in here. So you push this little grey button in, and it's a bit stiff, but up it comes. I keep wanting to pull on this bit, but it's not. Put your finger in and lift that. And then you'll see, rather a manky looking bag. It's cloth bag only in this one. Let me take it out. Oh, see, it's quite wedged in. Ew, David. Look at that. Inside, it's not the best. It has seen better days, and I have wiped it. And I think that possibly accounts for a bit of the smell. You get a kind of like a rusty smell when you run it. I've not adapted this. I really need to, so that we can use the ring and perhaps put a more modern microfiber bag on the top. If I had a spare cage, like you get with the 302 and 303, that would make it a bit easier, but I'll have to try and invent something. Again, I've given this a white, but it's still, yeah, it's pretty grotty. So for the purposes of this demonstration, whoops, push that back in. I'll just run it with the cloth bag. My house, well, my carpets are pretty clean. They get vacuumed every day, as you've seen from these videos. So it's not really going to pick much up. But yeah, it's pretty, there we go. It's pretty cheap and cheerful. It's nice looking. And if you need just a quick run around with a cylinder, these kind of things would have been ideal. I didn't get the tools with it, and I believe that the hose that would have come along with this would have been the side that didn't have the suction control, and it would have been a crush proof hose, because I think the woven braided ones have gone out by then. So what I've done, I do have a 305 with a crush proof hose even, and you can remove the end because it unscrews. And with one of my upright toolkits, I think the one that came with a 502, I've got the bent end that doesn't have the suction control. So I won't keep it like this, but I've actually made a little adaptation just for the sake of demonstrating this. So that won't stay like that. The proper end for my 305 with the nice hand grip and the suction control will go back on there. I have actually got a spare pattern hose that I keep in my garage, and that's got the suction control on it. So when I do use this, once I've played about with the motor, I'll probably use this more often, because I think actually the black and the yellow goes quite well. Although this is probably more to type. And then obviously it would have come with the two favourites. And everybody's favourite, flip over floor tool and extension tube, because this was like the basic model. So you wouldn't have got any automatic floor tools or anything like that. So I will get it plugged in and I'll just give it a quick push around so you can hear. I think this would benefit from having a suction control, because it sounds, when the floor head is on the carpet, it sounds like it's struggling a bit. It's like it needs a release of air or something. So I'll show you what it's like. In fact, what I'll do, I'll run it with this hose, then I'll run it with this hose with the hole open on there, just so you can tell the difference. But it's still a cute little machine and I do love it. That actually sounds a lot better when it winds down from having it running for a bit longer. Because I pause the video, but I don't actually switch the machine off. So it's only been a few minutes. What are we talking now? About 4 or 5 minutes. And it sounds a lot healthier. But you could tell when the floor head hits the floor, it sounded like it was struggling. So we'll try it with the other hose and see what that sounds like. There we go, to hand. Here's one I prepared earlier. That's a snugger fit as well than the other one. Butterfingers today. Right, let's move you here. And then tip you up a bit. You can tell that I'm a bit more proficient with uprights than I am with cylinders. I'm always getting the hoses twisted. Right, here we go. Yeah. To be honest, it didn't really make much difference, did it? It still sounded, even with that little aperture open just a slight bit, still sounded like it was kind of a bit tight, but I don't know. I'll still use both probably, both hoses from time to time, but mainly with this one. But we'll see, a bit like with my 303 video, if I open up the motor, give it a bit of grease and oil, see if it performs a little bit better, or rather not performs better because it was great, but sounds a little bit better, less like it's in pain. And we'll see how we get on. But yeah, pretty cute little machine. It slides nicely across the carpet. From experience downstairs, take that hose off, because you've got the skids, if you can see, no wheels, this scrapes along the floor, and it has got a couple of marks on here that I've sort of been careful with, but when I did use it once downstairs, I noticed straight away as I tried to pull the hose that it sounded like it was scratching on the tile, so I'll try not to use it down there, only on carpet. But you know, I suppose you could hold it and then go around vacuuming, but why bother? So yeah, there she is. Z96 from 1979. Nice little addition to my collection.